from the Ticats Audio Network. This is Ticats Today with Louis Butko.
This will be it right here. This is going to be double zeros on the clock, and the game will end.
Last play of the game. Seth Small is the leading field goal kicker as far as field goal percentage is concerned in the CFL. A 30-yard attempt to win the game. The kick is up. The kick is good. Seth Small has done it. The Tiger Cats have won. They win their final home game of the season in front of a sold-out crowd in dramatic fashion. A third straight win, and the Tiger Cats are playing their best football at the most important time.
RJ Broadhead and Luke Tasker with the call, as heard right here on the Ticats Audio Network, as the Ticats win big. Well, not win big, but it doesn't matter how they win. They won on a last-second field goal by Seth Small, and that set the stage for Saturday night between the Stamps and the Roughriders. And if you're a Ticats fan listening to the show, you already know what it means. Yeah, the Calgary Stampeders took care of their business, and that means heading into the final week of the season, the Ticats have already locked up their spot in the postseason. They're heading back to the playoffs for the fourth year in a row. And obviously a very exciting time in Hamilton, and they'll wrap up their regular season Saturday against the Red Blacks in Ottawa before next Sunday's East semifinal, November the 6th, with a spot in the East Final in Toronto on November 13th on the line. So a fun couple of weeks for sure, hopefully a fun month or so ahead of the Grey Cup. But yeah, the Ticats are heading back to the postseason, and who could have seen this one coming? A week before the end of the regular season, the Ticats already have a playoff spot locked up. Lots to get to throughout the week on this, and we'll get to all that. But today, just enjoying that win from Friday night. What a crowd, what an atmosphere at Tim Hortons Field. Sold out, final home game of the season, and Seth Small sending the fans home happy with the game-winning field goal. We're going to hear from Seth Small. We put him on the podium after the game. We'll hear from Matthew Shiltz as well. And we'll hear from the head coach and president of football ops, Orlando Steinauer. Yeah, there are going to be some questions heading into the final week of the regular season. How much do you rest your regular guys? I know Coach always says the most important game is the next one. I'm not sure if that's the case this time. The most important game is the one after that. Because regardless of what happens in this game, the Ticats will play in the East semifinal in Montreal on November 6th. So it'll be interesting to see how Coach Orlando Steinauer approaches this week. And they're back in practice tomorrow. And we'll bring you all the latest from practice today, or from tomorrow, I should say, here on Ticats Today and throughout the week as we get you set for that game on Saturday, and again leading into the playoffs November 6th. And I mean, who would have thought at this point the Ticats would be already in the playoffs? And you know what? I thought, who would have thought? So I put it out to you on Twitter. You can hit me up at LouisB_TV. I'll get some of your responses, but I want to know how you're feeling. And I will admit, I tweeted this out on Saturday morning, and then on Sunday, kind of retweeted it from the Ticats account just to try and get a little bit more responses, especially after they clinch. So I will get some of your answers on how you're feeling about the Ticats after that big win and after clinching a spot with the Calgary Stampeders beating the Saskatchewan Roughriders on Saturday. So lots to get to on today's show. Let's get right into it. Let's hear from the head coach and president of football ops. That's Orlando Steinauer. Here's what he had to say after the game on Friday.
Yeah, I just a lot of resiliency. That's really what it came down to. We hit so much adversity. You know, we turned the ball over. We didn't take it away. You know, we didn't play a clean first half. Penalty-wise, we were okay in the first half, but we just weren't good enough, and we just had to make a choice, and we knew it was going to come down. The wind did play a factor tonight, and, credit them. They gave us the wind and the ball to start the half, and we didn't do much with it till the very end, and that was the key thing. And then, of course, we've done a decent job throughout the season, despite winning or losing, of actually moving the ball into the wind and coming away with some sort of points. Can't say enough. That guy just shows up when called upon. He's steady. Super proud of him. I would be lying to you if I said I was surprised. And he took some shots too. He fell forward and was able to allow us to keep the run going and didn't go sideways much. So super proud of him. I thought we were physical up front. So were they. But, yeah, just super proud of just the whole effort on both sides of the ball, especially up front. Yeah, we just we had to handle our business here. We clawed and scratched to control our own, situation down the stretch, and that's what we've earned. We've earned a chance to still control that regardless of what happens. And so, we're going to enjoy this one, and then we're going to move on. You have to find a way to win. And I think, like I alluded to earlier in the week when we spoke, there's just a camaraderie, a trust, a belief. We don't know how we're going to win each week. It's not overly concerning how. It's just about finding a way to do it. Now, you can't shoot yourself in the foot and that. And it's not often you're going to win a bunch of games when you lose the turnover or takeaway battle. But it just shows that it can be done. Yeah, and I think Wilcott had a big play there. Yeah, when it's your time to make a play, that's one thing we emphasize. When it's your opportunity to make a play, you got to make it. And some people are going to get ample opportunity in a game. Some people only get one or two. And it really just comes down to making it. And this was a seesaw battle. And fortunately, we had the ball last and had a couple of key first downs, converted. And, ultimately we're able to milk the clock to give ourselves the opportunity to win at the end.
That is the head coach and president of football ops, Orlando Steinauer, as we caught up with him after the game on Friday. We also had a chance to catch up with Matthew Shiltz, and we'll likely have to wait at least one more day to learn the status of quarterback Dane Evans. But Matthew Shiltz came in, stepped up, went 3 for 4 for 43 yards, including a great pass to Tim White to set up Seth Small's field goal. He also scrambled for a nice 25-yard run, again, to move the football down the field and keep the clock running. And again, this is what they brought in a guy like Matthew Shiltz for, someone who had many offers to join other teams, but he decided to choose Hamilton, and we were grateful that he did when he stepped up with that game-winning drive late. And here's what he had to say after the game on Friday.
I think during that injury, one of the Ottawa players got hurt on the same play that Dane got hurt, so I was able to get a couple passes in on the sideline. Yeah, I think like you said, it's a team effort. Like, it's not, coach preaches it every single day in meetings and practice. It's a next man up mentality, no matter what position it is. And I think the team really embodies that. We've seen guys go down all year in all different positions, and the next guy was able to step up and get production, whether that's on defense, offense, or special teams. So, on those situations, you just go out there and do what you've been doing all week in practice, and just trusting everybody. Yeah, again, I think it goes back to what we kind of just talking about with Coach preaching. It's the waiting room. If you're not playing, if you're not starting, you're going to get your opportunity at some point. It's the CFO. We all know how it goes, and that's why it's so important to stay locked in, week out in meetings, whether or not you're going to be on that starting roster or the active roster. You just never know when your opportunity is going to come, and when it comes, your number's called. You got to go out there and perform. Yeah, you don't really, you're going into the win, but you don't really think about it much. If you just go out there and kind of spin the ball, then it's going to cut through the wind. And obviously you're going to be a little bit more careful on certain deep passes, but if you're throwing those kind of one or two balls, the wind's not really a factor. Yeah, and that was the biggest thing that, we were talking about when we kind of had this situation and kind of saw it down the line, if we were going to be able to get a couple wins and kind of keep everything in our control. And we know we don't have to be checking scores. We just have to worry about what the Ticats can go out there and do and win a football game. So
you get 2 days off, and you don't even have to worry about it.
Exactly. So we're just going to worry about what we can do, in the final week of the season. And like you said, we're in control of our own destiny. So I think we've seen it not only on the Hamilton Tiger Cats, both before I got here and this year, but also in the league. It's the CFL, and 2 quarterbacks are going to have to play. So it's been great having Dane in that room, and Tommy and Coach O, and we always stay ready. It's been a next man up mentality, both in the quarterback room and on this field. Like we kind of talked about before, it's not necessarily the practice roster. It's just a waiting room for when you're going to get your opportunity. And when your number is called, you just got to make the most of it. But we'll see how Dane's feeling. I'm praying that he's going to be okay. But if not, then it's just any other position on the field is just the next man up. So that's my mentality.
That is Matt Shiltz speaking after the game on Friday night. He didn't play much. He only threw the ball 4 times, but he completed 3 of them, including a big one to Tim White. And again, we'll cross our fingers on the status of Dane Evans, who hopefully is back ready to go in time, at least for the playoffs, hopefully this week, but at the very least in time for next Sunday's East semifinal in Montreal. I will let you know, and I feel like I owe you this in the interest of full disclosure. The Ticats Team Awards are likely to be announced this week. The voting was yesterday. I know that because I read about it on Josh Smith's 3 Down Nation blog on the Ticats win. I don't get a vote. I'm going to let you know right now. So I will maybe let you know who I would have picked when the nominations come out. But just in the interest of full disclosure, I didn't get a vote. I didn't influence anybody's vote, and I don't vote on the team awards. So, but we'll go through that this week when we get them, and I'm sure if the people who are voting have been watching as I have been watching, hopefully there's nothing I have to come on the air here and really argue with or against. And I would never, just because I think all these guys are legitimate in what they do, but just so you know. The one thing I will say is that I think there was a battle for Special Teams Player of the Year between Lawrence Woods and Seth Small. I think Seth Small might have kind of clinched it with his game-winning field goal, going 5 of 6. He's got 13 field goals, as Milty pointed out, in the last 3 games. So I think Seth Small might have locked up Special Teams Player of the Year for the Ticats, maybe even the East, and I wouldn't be surprised if he's up for the league award. And again, this isn't me trying to influence it because the votes have already been cast for awards here, but just my 2 cents. Here is Seth Small. Here's what he said after the big win on Friday.
What's my thought process going into a kick? Same kick. I try not to change anything, and I have full confidence in Gordo White and Matt Shiltz, and just in my mind, I'm exhaling and I'm saying thank you, God, for this opportunity, and very thankful that I hope it never gets that close at the end because I want us to be winning by so much, but that's what we train for is for those shots like that, and we're 1 shot, 1 kill, as Coach Butler, our special teams coach, says. So just thankful for the opportunity to go out there and win the game. Is it 13 in 3 games? Oh my gosh. I think CFL stands for Crazy Fun League. I'm having a blast up here. No, my mind hasn't made that switch yet for the Rouge. I was on the phone a second ago, and they were telling me, we could have punted the ball through the end zone and done a Rouge that way and won the game. And, when they call me out onto the field, Coach O, and we go out there and we execute and try to put the ball through the uprights, that's what we train to do. That's a typical Hamilton wind out there. It definitely you can allow it be a factor as much as you want it to be. And I just tried to hit my clean ball, and I say butts, I'm good from this distance, and that's what it is that way. And then the other way, trying to hit a long one, but it was kind of just in the face. So like my golf game, I wish I was better, but you just try to hit a pure ball and it'll go straight.
Is there such thing as a gimme in your mind?
A gimme?
A gimme kick? Like when you look and you see that one in the distance, certainly is well within range, forgetting about the wind, of course. But in your mind, do you allow yourself to, or is it doesn't matter with the distance, it doesn't matter anything else, every kick's a new kick onto itself?
It doesn't matter. Every kick has to be put through the uprights, and that's not just me, that's Gordo White and Matt Shiltz doing a tremendous job, and then our line obviously protecting. There's no such thing as a gimme. It's exciting. I think that's something that this team has earned. We didn't start the best at the beginning of the season, but we've kind of found our true self and who we are, and Coach O has led that, and the buy-in of the team is still there, and we're full steam ahead. We're excited about where we're going, and we're getting hot for a Grey Cup run.
And that is Seth Small, and we caught up with him after the game on Friday, and I might have told this story that the best compliment I've ever gotten around this Ticats team, Mike Damagala. I was walking by Seth Small once, and he said we look alike. And I thought that was very nice. That was very nice of Mike Damagala to say that Seth Small and I look alike. And I'm not sure if you picked up, love Seth Small's accent. I just think it's awesome. It's got that little southern U.S.-ness to it. I'm sure he thinks I sound funny. I'm not saying he sounds funny. I'm just saying I love his accent, and hopefully he feels the same about my Canadian accent up here. Regardless, Monday morning rant, that's what we do here. Not even a rant, just a tangent. Before we go, I want to know how you're feeling about the Hamilton Tiger Cats. I went to Twitter, @LouisB_TV. And I asked, how are you feeling heading into the final game of the regular season? Some of you responded before the Ticats clinched. Some of you responded after the Ticats clinch. I wanted to get to some of these answers here. At Transit 1820, Hamilton Transit 1820 says, it was nice. They played good this season. I mean, you can't win them all or lose. Win or lose, I will support them. Thanks for supporting them, Transit 1820. Phyllis Jesperson is feeling freaking awesome. Last game at Tim Hortons Field, and a huge win was like winning the lotto. There's no better feeling than witnessing your team and experiencing the atmosphere in our stadium. Professor John Miller SD at J Miller Stats. We know who that is. This team has been wildly inconsistent. They've beaten some of the best in the league in an impressive manner. They've lost in a humiliating manner to some of the worst. They'll likely get in the playoffs after next week. 3 more games. Any given game, one team wins, one team loses. And then includes a Futurama GIF with all I know is my gut says maybe. Super Cal, Canadian Cal 30 says, taking it game by game, always support the team, win or lose, but a little consistency would be nice. QB is hot one week, but off the next. No bueno. Remaining hopeful as any fan would be. We got a couple more here. Tiger Sammy says 1 down, 4 to go. Brian James is a little worried about Dane Evans' hand injury to make an informed evaluation. At Michelle 88683422, She's Sports Nuts says, feel like they're the comeback team, like no one saw this coming because of the bad start of this season. At Kayla Mitchell says, I think we need to thank whatever God we believe in and pray that this momentum keeps going. I'm proud of them for never giving up. Nick Espasto says, at first I was really hoping we'd have to win both games to get in, but Sask losing last night allows Dane to rest up another week if he needs to. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I just added that. And Box J Boys, always appreciate their contribution to the show. They say they're feeling confident. Sure, it was a bumpy ride to make it, but the Ticats record doesn't reflect the talent, as some of the late game losses could have been wins, and we could have 12+ victories. Plus, they were winning a lot of those games until the fourth quarter. # we have a chance. # Grey Cup. And we'll finish with Jim Martin at Latouton, who's a big fan of the show, and we appreciate your support, Jim. He says, I am feeling hyped. 2022, third time's a charm, straight to the Grey Cup. Well, not straight to the Grey Cup. They got at least 3 more games to get there, including the regular season finale this Saturday in Ottawa, and a game that you'll be able to catch right here on the Ticats Audio Network, just like the East Final. Yeah, that one's set for November the 6th, 1 p.m., and we can't wait for that. And, of course, we have your coverage leading up right to that game, right to Saturday's game, right here on the Ticats Audio Network. That'll do it for us today on this Monday, starting off your week. Thanks for starting it with us. We appreciate it as always. Make sure to like and subscribe so you never miss an episode of this show or any of the other great shows on the Ticats Audio Network, including a brand new episode of the CFL This Week with Bubba Hogan. That'll do it for us. Thanks for joining us. I'm back tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on the Ticats Audio Network. I'm Louis Butko. Hoping you have a great day.
Ticats Today can be heard every weekday, and we would like to hear from you. Email us at gameday@ticats.ca. Have a question or an opinion? We want to hear it. That's gameday@ticats.ca. Subscribe to the Ticats Audio Network on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.